eat it. All right, well, these are going to be completely wonky. We're going to go with a little sort of, I don't know, Art Deco thing for this. They're just going to, you know what? They're going to be all over the place. They're going to be all over the place. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. There you go. And you know what? I'm going to live with that. I'm going to totally... Good morning, everyone. I'm Dave. Welcome back to the wee hours where I suffer from periodic bouts of insomnia and play games to pass the time. We are back with the Farm Manager 2018 Grow Nothing $1 Million Challenge, and things are broadly stable at the moment in terms of our income and cash flow and whatnot. It's not great. We've only got about 30K kicking around, but that's better than we were doing in the last episode when we actually hit our first negative balance for the first time. And winter is coming, not too soon, but it's August. I mean, winter is kind of right around the corner here, and that means our bees are going to shut down. And thank you, as always, to Emrys in the comments for correcting me, well, informing me would be a better word, of how the bees work. It's actually a temperature issue, not so much a time of the year issue. So when the temperature hits, I believe it is 10 degrees, they will effectively stop working somewhere around there. Well, anyway, long story short, when it gets too cold, the bees go and hide for the winter. Animals are ready for breeding. Okay, show me. What do we got? Chickens? Yeah, sure. We'll get some more chickens in. No problem. And another comment, seeing as I just called the inseminator there, that he had left is making sure that there are at least 2 empty slots for animals when we call the breeder. Otherwise, it's not effective, particularly on cows, because it costs so much money to call the inseminator. We want to make sure we have at least 2 spots for cows. So this one right now is 6 out of 6. So there's no particular reason we couldn't sell off a couple of cows. That's actually a quick 4,000 right there. And that means that they will be available for breeding again, and we can get 2 more cows. But yes, his comment was make sure we've got at least 2 empty slots. If we're only breeding 1 cow, it's not cost effective. So we want to be as efficient as we can realistically be in this farm. I'm going to start things moving on a little bit faster here, because it's kind of sort of a downtime when we're just getting products and selling them. Speaking of selling, let's see if there's anything we need to be getting on with here. What have we got kicking around that we could get rid of? Yeah, I'll get rid of that honey. I'll deal with the breeding in just a second. Oh, honey's quite high right now. Quite high. Again, like we've talked about in the past, these small decimal point differences don't mean a whole lot right now, but if we can get a high price, we'll certainly take it. Absolutely. Get rid of the eggs. Sell all the eggs. Yes. We are finally making sheep cheese. I was a little bit worried about that. I hadn't seen any sheep cheese being made, and I was wondering if I had done something wrong or if we had a glitch or something. But no, they are finally making sheep cheese, and I think the issue is, when we rebuilt the farm after my debacle with deleting the save file, the sheep had just basically immediately gone down before I started re-recording this, so they just didn't really have time to make sheep's milk. They do tend to make sheep's milk rather slowly, which is, I don't really know much about sheep. I don't know if they're slow milk makers, but certainly the cows are cranking out the milk. All right, who is ready for breeding? Oh, it's the chickens. I am not surprised by that. I am not surprised. Oh, the chickens, they just go nuts. So we're up to 43K, and I'm having to think about whether it might be worth it to put down another pen for either sheeps or goats, and I'm leaning towards goats, because goats, in terms of their milk production, seem to be kind of in the middle. They don't crank it out as much as cows do, but they crank it out more quickly than sheep do, and goat's cheese is a pretty high-value item. I'm also tossing around the idea of yet another beekeeper hut, just to take advantage of the few months we have left in the year to get as much honey as we can. I think over the long term, though, the goats might be a more long-term stable solution, because the goats will work year-round producing milk. So let me have a little think about that. What's take a loan? I've already taken a loan. But you know what? Actually, on that, I can't rule out we may have to take another loan at some point. So we'll probably run out of time before we need to do that, but I will keep that active. Who is ready for breeding? Oh my God, it's the chickens. Can you believe it? It's the chickens. And what do you want me to do? You want me to grow a pig. Well, that displays a fundamental misunderstanding of biology, but you don't really grow pigs. Well, I suppose you do. Anyway, long story short, I'm probably not going to do that until we get meat production. So no, I'm not going to do that challenge. Thank you very much. Oh, hang on. All sorts of people are breeding here. Oh, the goats are breeding. Excellent. Yes, I will definitely take some more goats. And who else? More goats. Even better. Even better. Good. Okay. More goats equal more goats milk, which equals more goats cheese. That the loan payment just hit though, so we're down to 22K. That's not really as much as I would like. Let's I do see we got a ton of honey coming in. Call the inseminator for those chickens, yes, and then probably when that inseminator's done, we'll sell off half of that pen. That's getting a little full there. Selling, could we get back up? Hemorrhaging money here. Hemorrhaging money. Could we get rid of this honey, seeing as the price is still kind of high? Yeah, there's 4,300 right there. And, yeah, of course, sell the eggs. Why would you not sell eggs? Sell all the eggs, please. Goat's cheese, sure, why not? We'll make more. Cow cheese, absolutely. Yes, thank you. Let's take a little bit of that 30K that we're up to right now, and I think we've got one more employee we could max out on production. Yes, Stanley, you're just one shy of being 5 out of 5, so great, good. Now you're 5 out of 5. That means everyone in the cheese production plant is now top of the line, maxed out on their production skills, which will equal more stuff. Who's ready for breeding? My goodness, it's the chickens. Training finished. Oh, okay, all right, slow it down a little there. Slow it down. All right. Chickens are done. Now, what training could we be doing that is, as usual, relatively inexpensive, but also would benefit maybe our production, or we could take reducing bills now up to 7%. That's just money in the bank. Labor law is very, very cheap. I don't know if strength of our employees is the most vitally important thing right now. Now here's the one that I really like. Sales Training 1 increases the minimum price of products and crops by 10%. That's just flat out, we're making 10% more money. That's all there is to it. So, yes. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and do this. It's fairly quick and it's fairly cheap. 2,500. It'll take us 14 days to increase across the board all of our products, and by that is largely cheese and honey and eggs and whatnot. Actually, I'm not sure if eggs count as a product. When they say product, do they mean something that is produced in a production facility, or do they mean, anything that is created? I don't know the answer to that. If you know, let me know. Emrys, I'm looking in your direction. But yeah, we'll go ahead and take that. Minimum price up by 10%. That means even at our worst case, lowest price scenario, we are still making 10% more than we were, 14 days ago when that actually kicks in. Anything we could be selling. And let me just speed time up a little bit more here. Keep this thing moving along. Not so much really. Okay, well, you know what? Fine. I'll gut the honey. I really just kind of want to get back up into the 30 to 40K to think about a new pen. But I think we may just have to move time on a little bit until that is good. Well, we just did another quick round of insemination, and the sheep are almost maxed out here. So we're up to 14 out of 15 sheep. We should really sell a few of those off. Again, going with that, we want at least 2 empty spots for breeding purposes. So yeah, go ahead and, sell 5 sheep. There we go. That's fine. Who's ready for breeding? Is it the chickens? My goodness, it is. That's amazing. And how about the other sheep pen? Is that broadly maxed out as well? Yeah, 14 out of 15. So let's sell another 5 of those. It's not no money. It's 280 per sheep. And goats are getting pretty cramped as well, right? Well, 12 out of 15, we could let that slide. 12 out of 15, we'll let that one slide as well. And no new cows have come in. I did just do a round of selling chickens off as they get packed into the coop there. Yep, call the inseminator on that one. But let me just review them again. Yeah, you guys are up to 28 out of 30. Certainly seems like time to sell off some of you. There we go. That'll keep you a little more less cramped in there. And what are you up to? 22 out of 30. We'll let that one ride. All right. Well, I'm not getting towards my 40K right now, although I am actually noticing up in the corner we've got a bunch of milk and honey. A bunch of milk and honey. I'll deal with the breeding in a second. It's all going to be fine. 1,100 units of cow's milk. Yeah, go ahead and sell that. That's 4,500 right there. Sell those chicken eggs, please. Thank you. Even that was 700. That's not nothing. $5,600 for the honey. Yeah, yes, please. Thank you. Goat's cheese, out the door. Everybody out. Cow cheese, out the door. Everybody out. Good, that worked. That's up to 44K right there. Who's ready for breeding? My goodness, it's the chickens. Very, very surprising. And probably more chickens? Yup. Okay. And probably more chickens. Yeah, you're waiting. Oh, no, it's the goats. Okay, it's actually the goats. Goats are breeding a little bit faster than I thought they were, which means I think I should reinvestigate my idea of another pen. I think that's a pretty good move. Or should I do another hive, another beekeeping thing, just to take advantage of the last few months of beekeeping season? And honey is pretty much our most high-value item. And I think the answer to that is yes. I think, okay, who's ready for breeding? Is it chickens? Yes, it's chickens. It's always chickens. I know I can turn on the auto-inseminator. It's a convenience fee. It's a waste of money. But yes, goodness, the chickens breed very, very quickly. And the beekeeper house will actually be pretty darn cheap. It's $1,600 because not only is it cheap in general, but we've taken the training to reduce the price of buildings. So let's pop you there. If you could start building that, please. And while you're doing that, let's look for an employee. We've got plenty of room in this house. Anyone good at bees? Anyone good at bees? 3 out of 5 for $675. That's a little high, Tommy Oliver. That's a little pricey. You are 2 out of 5 for $616. Again, a little pricey. You're 1 out of 5 for $707, but you're really good on crops. Hey, if I had any crops, Frederick, you'd be 100% on board right now. Bees. 1 out of 5, $604. 0 out of 5, $619. Not so good. Here we go. Ruby Fisher, 4 out of 5 at $506. I think that's reasonable. Ruby, you're in. Ruby. That's a very reasonable price. I like that 500-ish, maybe up to the 550 mark is my comfort point. If we can get them cheaper, fine. If they're going to be more expensive than that, they better be darn good for that. The goats are ready for breeding again. Excellent. I did not think the goats bred this quickly, but I'm totally okay with that. Yeah, you're waiting, and you're still waiting. Okay, good. So a bunch more chickens coming in. If you guys wanted to finish the beekeeping place, we could stock that and just scrape what left we can out of the warmer months in honey. Okay, the new beekeeper house is done. Let's get our new employee, Ruby Fisher, 4 out of 5, 506. I like the sound of that. And we've got 42K right now. Why don't we just boost you up to 5 out of 5? We're going to do it at some point eventually. May as well, again, just get everything we can get out of these last few months of warm weather before the hives go dormant for the winter. And let's get some hives cooking here. So let's see, can we line those up reasonably nicely? Yeah, 1, 2. Oh, gosh darn it, I just misclicked that, and I'm not going to delete it. All right, well, these are going to be completely wonky. We're going to go with a little sort of, I don't know, Art Deco thing for this. They're just going to, you know what? They're going to be all over the place. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. There you go. And you know what? I'm going to live with that. I'm going to totally live with that. It's the nice beekeeping house and then the chaos beekeeping house. I don't know. Things happened. Misclicks happened. I'm not going to correct it because it doesn't matter. It just looks a little weird. Did I lose 1 square of efficiency if I wanted to build out this whole thing with beekeepers? Possibly. But you know what? It's a game. I'll live with it. Let's sell some stuff. Let's sell some things on the market. What can we do here? How are we doing for honey? We want to get that out the door. Yeah, go ahead and get rid of that cow's milk. We were sitting on a fair bit of that. And I'm sure the cheese place is taking it as it needs to. I did tell them to. Oh, 2,500 in honey. Not bad at all. When does the goat's cheese go off? 17th of the 10th. That is a full month away. That's a month away. So you know what? We'll sit on that. We'll sit on that right now. I would love to have the warehouse with cooling. But boy, is that thing pricey. We need that when we get the whoozy what's at the slaughterhouse, too. We're going to need that. Otherwise, they'll just dump the meat in the trash, apparently. Warehouse with cooling, $152,000. $152,000 for that, plus minimum of 64 for the slaughterhouse. So we're at like, what, 210, 220 just to get up meat production going. Okay, who's ready for breeding? Chickens. Nobody is surprised by that. Nobody is surprised by that. Any of these coops full up? 28 out of 30? Yeah, sure, I'll sell a few you guys off. Why don't you go be somebody's dinner? And how about you guys? How's your coop doing? Yeah, 27 out of 30. Let's sell a bunch of those off. That's fine. And the goats were breeding. Where are we at with goats? 14 out of 15. Yeah, let's just sell like 4 of you off. I want to keep that goat's milk coming in. You are also at 14 out of 15, so I'll sell a couple of you off as well. Okay, and we finished that sales training. Fantastic. We get 10% higher minimum price. So even if we're at the bottom of the market, we're still doing 10% better than we were right now. Can we keep that train rolling? Is there a second tier to that? Price of buildings by 30%. Here we go. Increases the minimum price of the products and crops by 20%. Now that's a little more pricey. That's $6,700. But I think that's, I got to say, I think that's something that pays for itself over time. That's just something where we're going to make that money back just because we're flat out making 20% more of a minimum price. So even if the market is tanked, we're still doing 20% better than we used to be. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and take that training. And let me just make sure that beekeeping... Oh, God, that's just going to make me mental. That's going to make me absolutely mental. It's a sort of yin and yang thing going on here with these 2 beekeeper houses. You're all set in there, Ruby. You're 5 out of 5. You got the hives going. Everything's... I know you have to walk a little bit less efficiently than your neighbor over here, but you'll learn to cope. 37,880 on money. I would love to get this next pen down. And what after all of that training to reduce the price of buildings, what is my cost on that? 14.4 to put one of those down. It's 14,000 that we don't really have. Let's get some more chickens going. That'll help to pay for that. And then we got to hire an employee and buy the animals. But over the winter when the bees aren't going, this will help defray that loss. I think we're going to have to take a chance on this. I think this whole farm, this whole project is a bit of a gamble on everything. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and put down the 3rd pen now. Well, 3rd, 5th actually, but in this little block of area. Now I'm not gonna be able to, if I not nestle this up right here, probably the best I could do on the other side might be some more beekeeper houses. So just forethought and planning of what's going to go beyond this. I'm just going to leave room for a path there. We'll put that down there. Run a road up here, or not, as the case may be. Did I really just misplace that so I can't get a road in there? Sometimes I'm really a dope. Sometimes I am really, really a dope. Well, you can have a path there then. That'll work. That'll help. I'll put some flowers in there or something. I probably should have put the path down first. But here we are. And you can get a road going all the way there. Just so you guys can walk all the way around the pens. When that's built, we'll get that stocked up with, I believe, goats. I think goats is the smart move there. And let's look at an employee for that area. Who is semi-decent at animals and cheap? Well, now I got all the beekeeping people. Animals. 3 out of 5. Well, you got multiple skills, so you're really pricey. But 3 out of 5 for 769 is not going to cut it. You're 5 out of 5 for 682. That's high, but you are 5 out of 5. I wouldn't have to train you. Anyone else? Wow. Got no good animal people. All right, well, let's just readdress that when the pen is built. We'll just get a refresh on that. In the meantime, let's just sell off what we can. Try and defray the costs of everything we just spent there. Sure, you know what? Sell the sheep's wool. Why not? It's $18.55. That's a decent price for sheep's wool. Yes, sell that. Sell everything, please. Sell the sheep's cheese now that we're finally making it. Please sell the honey. It's basically our highest item here. You know what? Sell that cow's milk. We got a fair bit of that. There's 1,000. Sell the eggs. That's 256 that we didn't have 10 seconds ago. All right, we're back up to 32. That's not bad. Any nice new employees want to work for me? Maybe? No, not the beekeeper hut, the employee house. There we go. How about nice, cheap animal employees? No. Wow, not a lot of good choices here, or indeed, any at all. You're 1 out of 5 for 636. Here we go. 4 out of 5 for 534. That's fair. I think that's a fair price. I will take you, Charlotte Yates. You're in. You're going to look after some goats for me. I wonder how we're doing on food. We did buy some more food for the animals in the last episode, so we should be okay. But let me just skate over to the warehouse here and see what's kicking around. What do we got in the barn going on? Fair bit of crops, good bit of straw, some silage. It's not a ton of stuff, though. I think it's probably going to behoove us to get some more food in here. That does seem to be running a little bit low. More chickens! Yay! Is the pen down here done? It is. Excellent. So, Charlotte, why don't you go work in there? Yeah, no, do not automatically call the inseminator under any stretch of the imagination. Convenience fee, not worth it. Let's start with, I don't know, 8 goats. And we'll breed the rest up. 8 goats, that seems fair. No new sheep, right? I don't recall the breeder being in for those. No, still at 9 out of 15. Okay, I'm going over to the barn like I'm going to buy stuff there. Let's actually go to the market and buy some more food. Not a ton, just some more food that is, somewhat all-purpose that all the animals can get down with, like crops. Lots of animals seem to like crops, and they're really super cheap. So let's get another 1,000 of crops in. I'll deal with the breeding in just a second. Get a little bit more straw in, although we had some straw. The goats are really keen on apples. Oh, they're pricey, though. Don't like how pricey they are. You know what? You can have 200 units of apples. There you go. You can eat on that. Corn, grass, that's kind of an easy one. Also really cheap. So you can have 1,000 units of grass. That should top us off for a little bit. I have raspberries? Why do I have raspberries? Why in God's name do I have... Oh, I'm in buy, not sell. Never mind. I'm not looking at my own inventory. I'm looking at the market. Goodness. Way too many chickens to deal with. That's the problem. Everyone else is good, right? You need the inseminator, and how about you? You need the inseminator. Okay. All the chickens are breeding. Excellent. Okay, I let things skip along a little bit. The training just finished at the for the sales raising prices thingamajiggy that we were training for. So that's done. Long story short, that's done. Goats are breeding. Yeah, goats breed faster than I thought. So that's good. We may favor goats if they breed clearly much faster than sheep. Chickens obviously breed like maniacs, but we're used to that right now. Are you waiting for the inseminator too? Well, you are now. And while I was skipping ahead, the cows got bred down in this third pen here. So what does that put us at? 5 out of 6? All right, well, let's make sure we have those 2 spots. So let's sell 1. It'll leave us 4 out of 6. Good. All right, well, let's sell what we got. It looks like we got a bunch of honey in. I think that extra beehive was a good move. I mean, realistically, I could probably fill this entire field with bees, and that would be fine. I'd probably get to 1 million doing that, but I don't think that's the most interesting way to do this. Hopefully we can make this a little more... Oh, there we go. 9 grand for 464 units of honey. Yes, please. Thank you. It's actually running a little low on money because they just dealt with the loan payment thing, so this money is very, very welcome right now. Very welcome. Yeah, sell all of that. Sell everything. Sell the eggs. Dear God, just sell, sell, sell. You know what? Sell the sheep's wool. I'm pretty sure I actually have that on auto trade, but sell the sheep's wool. Oh God, breeding. Yes, okay. Oh, goats again. Yay. Goats are randier than I thought they were. You're waiting. You're definitely waiting. You're not waiting. Oh, it's the sheep finally. Finally, the sheep are breeding. Okay, good. Let's see what else we can do with training. Not a lot, because we only got 27K kicking around. But if there was something kind of inexpensive, this might be a good time to increase the strength of employees by 10%. That's just 500 and it only takes 3 days. At least they could work longer. That would be pretty good. I'd be okay with that. Boy, we'd still get sales training 3. That would bump up the minimum price by 30%, but it's 12,000 to do that. Yeah, I'm going to take the labor law. Wait, it's only 500, and at least people can work longer. I still want to get back into the sales training one, but in the meantime, we can at least kick that one off and get that done quickly. All right, we finished the labor law training, so our employees are a teensy bit stronger at this point. Anything else we may want to just get started on? And I'd actually be okay if it took longer too, because we're getting into winter now. It's, getting into winter. It's September, but noting that it has, hit that 10 degree, and for a couple of days there it was down to 9 and 8. I noticed we're not producing any more honey. So it seems like the bees are starting to shut down. Now, we may still get some warmer days before the actual, winter, like December winter. But I think we're kind of drying up on honey production now. So any decent training, and again, I'd be okay if it took a while. If it's something that maybe stretched over the winter would be fine. Price of buildings down by 30%. I don't really want to spend $10,000 on that right now. I really do want to spend $12,000 to increase the minimum price of products and crops up by 30%. I suppose we could do the sort of other end of that spectrum and increase the maximum price of products up by 5%. That's $3,000 and takes a couple of weeks. Let's do that. Anything on either end of that spectrum that we could be doing to increase our money is going to be good. Oh, yay, cows are ready for breeding. Yes, absolutely, call the cow breeder. And who else? Oh, chickens. Nobody is surprised by that. And apparently I've already called them. I haven't called you yet, though. So, yeah, go ahead and sell or get the chickens inseminated. How are our goats doing down here? Obviously, no breeding yet. But you seem like you're largely doing fine, I guess. 11 out of 15 on sheep and 11 out of 15. Where are the goat pens at? Because they've been bred once or twice. 12 out of 15 and 12 out of 15. I'm going to let that ride just to get in more goat's milk. And none of the cow pens are full, right? Not even you guys. No, you're at 4 out of 6. You guys do breed very slowly. So I've got a bit of a plan as I just go through and sell whatever I have left to sell. Sure, cow's milk. Oh, cow's milk tanked. But you know what? That minimum price is higher now. So even we're at the bottom of the barrel here in terms of pricing, that's still we're getting more money than we did before we did all that training. So worth it. Absolutely worth it. Chicken eggs. Yes, absolutely. Now, cheese, sheep's cheese. We just don't make a lot of sheep's cheese because I don't think the sheep make a lot of milk. I think this is the core issue here. So yes, sell all of that. And well, you know what? What's the manure going for? We've made a lot of it. We have a lot of animal manure here because we're not doing anything else with it. You know what? It's 258 farm monies. Go ahead and sell it. Go ahead and sell it. At least just to clear out the manure pile over here, because it is right next to my house, which was poor planning, really. But, I put the big pile of manure next to my front door. But there it is. There it is. So my plan, now that we're September 10th, I don't think we're going to do much in the next couple of months besides doing what we just did, which is get some stuff in, sell some stuff out, do some basic training stuff, and I'm looking at trainings that take longer too, just so, just because it's going to be winter soon and there's not going to be a lot to do. So basically the next few months of this are largely just going to be selling cheese. That's pretty much it. The bees are going to start shutting down now. In fact, again, we have produced no new honey, so that 10-degree thing seems to be very accurate, that we're just, the bees are in hibernation. They're not going to do squat for the next few months, and it's not going to get any warmer than this. So this is a very long-winded way of getting to a point, which is I think my next plan is I'm going to skip ahead through winter. I'm going to just let winter tick by. Because it's going to be awfully dull for the next few months. Oh, breeding, please be cows. Goats, okay, good second choice there. Good second choice, yes. It's going to be basically about 4 months of watching me sell cheese. So possibly not the most interesting thing in the world. So what I'm going to do is kind of just let the game run and skip through winter, accumulate whatever money we can. I'm not really going to buy anything new. I'm going to keep it exactly as it is through the winter. I may do some more training. I may not. I'll look at it depending on what the money situation is. And basically pick up with you guys in the spring and start, the spring farm. Get some new animals going, some new pens going, some new bees going, definitely, and see how we want to address it next year. But yeah, I'm going to skip through winter, pick up with you guys in the spring, and we'll see where the Grow Nothing $1 Million Challenge goes from there. Until then, I'm Dave. Thank you, as always, for joining me in the wee hours, and we'll see you next time.